Good day, viewers. The Colonel speaking to you live from the Lay Rectory, home of the Squire, for British Imperial YouTube Broadcasting. Good almost new, Happy New Year, Squire.
Well, it is. Yes, tomorrow will be. And
yes.
Before we start, Happy New Year to everybody.
Yes, indeed.
Hope you all have a good one and have an enjoyable time. Find some interesting things and succeed in what you want to try and do.
We've certainly found some interesting things this year. And not as many records for me as the previous year, because of course I had the old but very full barn full. We'll talk about that later. But you found an interesting machine.
Well, I mean, I've been collecting gramophones for many years, and I haven't seen this model at all. Now, if I open it up, this is a Yagerphone Portable.
There we go. I can't think that I've ever seen a Yagerphone Portable. I've seen rather less than brilliant quality cabinet machines, and some really abysmal cabinet machines they made. In fact, one which I had outside my house, a gust of wind jolly nearly blew the blighter over. It was so pathetic.
Well, I can remember one that I had that was more or less a copy of an HMB 163.
Yes, I've seen those.
It was about that size, with a full-size horn, but a very peculiar shape behind it, so it didn't perform very well. Well, this one, the horn is quite complicated. It's got a kind of a double bend here, and then it goes round to there, so it's fairly long.
And it's a lovely blue crocodile skin case.
It is.
Case, and it's solidly made. It's not rubbish.
No, this one's a good quality one. It's got a Calaro motor, so it's a solid cast motor. It's a good quality one. And the brake, we've got the speed control, and then the brake is just fitted onto the end of the speed control. Now that's something I hadn't seen before.
Very odd.
Yeah. And then you've got these funny rotatable needle containers where you'd have to turn the top round to open them and close them.
How very unusual. I can't say I've even seen those before.
I certainly haven't.
It's almost unique features here.
It's certainly a machine I was very pleased to get.
Yes, I can imagine you were. It's not at the top of everybody's list, but when you see something you haven't seen before, you get hold of it.
Well, you see, the point is, think how many HMB 101s and 102s there are.
Far too many.
Think of the money they fetch.
Far too much.
Which this one was quite reasonable, and I haven't seen another one of them, so I can't compare it for value, but I've never seen another machine.
Well, this is the point, and you saw it in a sort of antique shop.
Yes, I bought it locally. Yeah,
Amazing.
Market Salisbury High Street.
Yes.
Yeah, found it there. Yeah.
It just shows you can wander into a place.
I'd been in that place for ages, not seen anything.
I remember we were discussing earlier the fact that we wandered into a large antique centre once, where I think I'd bought once before, and you spotted 3 really immaculate condition, unusual portables on one stand.
Yes.
So it can happen.
Yes, and I was at a fair at Newbury, and there I bought 4 portables, one of which was a First World War vintage Decca portable, which I still got upstairs.
Right.
I sold the other 2 as a 102 and a 101, I think, and maybe there were 4 of them anyway.
Yes.
So I sold 3 of them and kept the other one was free. So that was free of charge, basically, because I'd made the money on selling the others.
Extraordinary, isn't it? It's just strange what turns up. All the time you can find 101s and 102s. The conditions may be abysmal, but after you've got one decent one for yourself, you don't really need any others.
No.
But this is a very unusual and interesting machine.
I'm not guaranteeing that the soundbox is the right one, but it's the one that came with it.
Yes.
The metalwork looks somewhat of a match. It's only a gold ring soundbox, but what it would have had originally, I don't know. It could have had a badged up Yagerphone one, but if one turns up, I'll alter it.
I can't think offhand that I've ever seen a Yagerphone soundbox.
No.
And I must admit, the cabinet machines I own, I didn't take a lot of interest in when I owned them. I think one of them had a Meltrope 3 on it, but I think it didn't say Yagerphone on it. But it could easily have done, I suppose.
Well, it's the sort of thing one day you might see on eBay, somebody put a Yagerphone soundbox on. Well,
yes.
If it's about period with this. But then this one before, this gold ring, it's just an ordinary, basic, cheap gold ring soundbox. But I wouldn't expect it to be a Swiss soundbox, because all the other metalwork is British made.
And it does say on the trademark, British made,
yeah, exactly.
Which is extraordinary, because it isn't, like I say, Alba Maestrophonic. They were just Swiss machines through and through.
Yes. Yeah.
But this is obviously British. Well, shall we hear it? See what what it can do.
It's a Crown record. Billy Merrin and his Commanders.
Oh.
Red Sails in the Sunset.
Oh, how great.
Remember which way to operate the brake.
Well, that was jolly good.
I think the sound of that's quite acceptable. Certainly isn't too bad, is it?
No, nothing wrong with that at all. Jolly good sound.
Yes, so I was very pleased to get that.
It looks in superb condition. They've even blue enamelled the fittings, which is rather nice.
I'm not sure, or whether somebody has actually waxed and coloured. I'm not certain about that.
It would seem.
Do you think so?
They look all right. Yeah, they look. I think they've actually been produced like that because the case corners are blue as well.
I just wonder whether somebody had put some finish over it, which had done it.
Might have done.
Yeah, difficult to say on that one.
Very interesting. Nice machine. Whilst we're here, you had a record. I was telling people on my new forum about the old but very full barn that we had. I cleared. Well, it's over a year ago now.
Well, if we can. What we'll do, we'll set up another machine and we'll play a bit of that because that's a long. Yes,
because you've got. Is that it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's it.
Now this was.
Because this is one of the ones you found.
Yeah.
Amongst those records, I hadn't spotted it, viewers. I thought it was an LP.
Well, this is.
I'm not very bright.
This one. Well,
because mind you, having said that, I was somewhat overwhelmed by the vast quantity of blessed records. So
Well, I was
surprised. Time to muck about.
Well, I was surprised to find this one because this is an RCA Victor.
Oh yes.
And one of the very first, what I would call
program with only one M, transcription Viennese melodies, Marek Weber, RCA Victor. And what date is that?
It's about 1932-33.
Right.
It's a product of that abortive attempt they had to introduce LP records. About 1931.
Right.
They tried it, but it didn't catch on due to the depression.
Right.
I think they only produced them for a few years, but I've been in 60 odd years of collecting. It's the only one I've ever seen.
Yes, I must admit I hadn't seen one. I assumed it was some sort of LP, so I didn't spot it. There you go, viewers.
Well, what we'll do...
Can't know everything.
We'll change machines. I'll get our trusty battery-operated record.
Ah, yes.
And I've got one or two other things I want to play.
Oh, well, that'll be jolly good. That'll be another video, will it?
It will, I think, yes.
Jolly good. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video, viewers. Thank you, and Happy New Year. Thank you and goodbye.